Hey, hey, it's Tracy coming on doing another Bible reading. I said I was going to do these very often, and it's been over a week, so I need to hold myself accountable. And also, anyone who wants to read the Bible more, pray, study, this will hold you accountable too, because even if you don't read it for yourself, just watch me and listen to me read it, even though you do need to read for yourself for sure, because the understanding that I might get may be different than you, and eventually, like I said, I'm going to be doing some teachings, but right now I'm just going to read and get in the habit of doing that. And what I was going to do initially was just open the Bible like I used to do when I was young. We used to have Bible study and we would just open the Bible and read. But I don't want to do that necessarily right now because it just depends on where you are, like what you're reading. You have to keep reading the rest to understand what you read. So I scratched that idea and decided that I would do, uh, why not Ecclesiastes? Ecclesiastes. And I'm reading in the NLT version of the Bible, which is the New Living Translation. Sometimes I'll read, like I have the Bible app on my phone, so I'll read one version and then click over to another one. So the King James Version is the OG. Then the New King James Version is a little easier to read. So sometimes I'll read like the NLT and then I'll go over to the King James just to compare to see what the difference is. Excuse me. So anyway, today I'm reading out of the NLT. Ecclesiastes is right after Proverbs, in case you guys want to know. And I'm going to read, this is a study Bible, so I'm going to read the paragraph that comes before you start reading. Ecclesiastes is a wisdom book written by King Solomon, the man who was given great wisdom by God. Solomon had everything he ever wanted, from money to fame, pleasures to power. He had it all. As Solomon explored everything under the sun, he understood the disappointment that comes when the fleeting things of life become the sole reason for existence. Only by obeying God and his commands can we find true meaning in life. Learn from Solomon that everything under the sun is meaningless compared to the riches we have in God. Strive to follow God and obey him in all you do. Who better to hear from than a man who was rich beyond any measure of now? Probably, if you had to compare, it's probably Trump or whoever. I can't think of. What's the guy who runs with Trump nonstop? Him. He's probably as rich as him. I can't think of his name. I guess for a reason. But anyway, Ecclesiastes 1. These are the words of the teacher King David's son who ruled in Jerusalem. So, Solomon is King David's son. Everything is meaningless. Everything is meaningless, says the teacher, completely meaningless. What do we get for all their hard work under the sun? What do people get for all their hard work under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth never changes. The sun rises and the sun sets, then hurries around to rise again. The wind blows south and then turns north. Around and around it goes, blowing in circles. Rivers run into the sea, but the sea is never full. Then the water returns again to the rivers and flows out again to the sea. Everything is wearisome beyond description. No matter how much we see, we are never satisfied. No matter how much we hear, we are not content. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say, I can't read, y'all. Here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. We don't remember what happened in the past and in future generations. No one will remember what we are doing now. That sounds very bleak. It does. It sounds really depressing and sad, but it's true. It's true. Side note, I was watching someone one time, I forget who, and he said, name your great grandmother. What's your great grandmother's name? And I was really blown because I don't know. I could look it up, but off the top of my head, I don't know. Great grandmother was not that many generations ago. That's my grandmother's mother. So I understand when they say after a while people won't remember you. They just you gone like blowing in the wind. Okay, so I am Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 12. I need some more glasses, y'all. I can't see. I, the teacher, was king of Israel, and I lived in Jerusalem. I devoted myself to search for understanding and to explore by wisdom everything being done under heaven. I soon discovered that God was dealt a tragic existence to the human race. I observed everything going on under the sun, and really it is all meaningless, like chasing the wind. What is wrong cannot be made right. What is missing cannot be recovered. I said to myself, look, I am wiser than any of the kings who ruled in Jerusalem before me. I have greater wisdom and knowledge than any of them. So I set out to learn everything from wisdom to madness to folly. But I learned firsthand that pursuing all this is like chasing the wind. The greater my wisdom, the greater my grief. To increase knowledge only increases sorrow. Man, that's wild. I guess it's like asking, you shall receive. The more you know, the sadder I guess it can become. I get it. Okay, chapter 2. I said to myself, come on, let's try pleasure. Let's look for the good things in life. But I found that this too was meaningless. So I said, laughter is silly. What good does it do to seek pleasure? After much thought, I decided to cheer myself with wine. And while still seeking wisdom, I clutched at foolishness. In this way, I tried to experience the only happiness most people find during their brief life in this world. I also tried to find meaning by building huge homes for myself and by planting beautiful vineyards. I made gardens and parks, filling them with all kinds of fruit trees. I built reservoirs to collect the water to irrigate my many flourishing groves. I bought slaves, both men and women, and others were born into my household. Okay, for those of you who say, "Oh, see, slaves, that's that's what it was, just like it was with us." Anyway, I also owned large herds and flocks, more than any of the kings who had lived in Jerusalem before me. I collected great sums of silver and gold, the treasure of many kings and provinces. I hired wonderful singers, both men and women, and had many beautiful concubines. Again, that was the thing of the time. I had everything a man could desire. So I became greater than all who had lived in Jerusalem before me, and my wisdom never failed me. Anything I wanted, I would take. I denied myself no pleasure. I even found great pleasure in hard work, a reward for all my labors. And as I looked at everything I had worked so hard to accomplish, it was all so meaningless, like chasing the wind. There is nothing really worthwhile anywhere. Ooh, that's depressing, right? Okay, I am Ecclesiastes chapter 2, 12th verse. So I decided to compare wisdom with foolishness and madness, for who can do this better than I, the king? I thought wisdom is better than foolishness, just as light is better than darkness. For the wise can see where they are going, but fools walk in the dark. Yet I saw that the wise and the foolish share the same fate. Both will die. So I said to myself, since I will end up the same as the fool, what's the value of all my wisdom? This is all so meaningless, for the wise and the foolish both die. The wise will not be remembered any longer than the fool. I'm laughing, but it's true. In the days to come, both will be forgotten. So I came to hate life because everything done here under the sun is so troubling. Everything is meaningless, like chasing the wind. And I understand chasing the wind because can you chase the wind? Are you going to catch it? No. I came to hate all my hard work here on earth, for I must leave to others everything I have earned. And who can tell whether all my successors will be wise or foolish? Yet they will control everything I have gained by my skill and hard work under the sun. How meaningless! So I gave up in despair, questioning the value of all my hard work in this world. Now, I know a lot of people can understand that. Your parents or grandparents work hard for that house or land, and then the kids get it and just don't pay the taxes, and it's gone. And they did all that, worked their whole life to leave something, and you don't know who you're leaving it to. It may be pilfered away. Some people work wisely with knowledge and skill. They must leave the fruit of their efforts to someone who hasn't worked for it. This too is meaningless, a great tragedy. So what do people get in this life for all their hard work and anxiety? Their days of labor are filled with pain and grief. Even at night, their minds cannot rest. It is all meaningless. So I decided there is nothing better to enjoy. Food and drink had to... Let me read that again. So I decided there is nothing better than to enjoy food and drink and to find satisfaction in work. Then I realized that these pleasures are from the hand of God, for who can eat and enjoy anything apart from Him? God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy to those who please Him. But if a sinner becomes wealthy, God takes the wealth away and gives it to those who please Him. This too is meaningless, like chasing the wind. Okay, that was Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 2 in the NLT. I'm going to stop there. And you know what? Because I guess I'm reading this, I need to continue. So my next reading will be, I'll continue in Ecclesiastes to the end, which is, I remember Ecclesiastes being kind of short. It is, it's only 12 chapters. So yeah, my next readings will be Ecclesiastes. I think I will finish it out. Okay, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure that you guys follow me on my Bible journey, and I hope you get something from this. Leave comments if you have any questions, and thanks for watching, guys.